Reports just coming in of another attack in Dublin city centre this afternoon, Saturday afternoon. This attack happened on a member of An Garda Síochána, the Irish police force. A man has been arrested. The guard has been taken to hospital to be treated for injuries that apparently came as a result of a cutting attack. We're being told that those injuries are not life threatening at this time, but as usual, information is quite scant in and around this. But let's look at what we know and what the position is in Dublin at the minute, especially in the run up to St. Patrick's Day, when police have warned members of the public, or they have been warned, to be on the alert for potential terrorist incidents in the city centre. So let's look at what information we have here, that which has been confirmed this afternoon. This is just published at 3:30 p.m. Garda hospitalised after being injured in an incident. And again, here we go again. Incident, incident. Like the kid who was stabbed in Finglas primary school this week. Incident. Told the injuries weren't life-threatening, and then we got an update on that one to say that actually he was in intensive care with a punctured lung, could have been killed. So take this reporting with a pinch of salt. It's usually played down. I'm hoping that it wasn't anything serious, but time will tell as usual. The incident took place this afternoon, shortly after 1 p.m. on Abbey Street in Dublin city centre. So a Garda has been assaulted in Dublin following a public order incident. Again, they've squeezed the word incident in there twice and the word assault once. The incident took place three times. Should be an incident counter here. The incident took place this afternoon, shortly after 1 p.m. One member of the guards received injuries to his arm, believed to be non-life threatening at this time. Well, let's hope they're not. He was taken to the Mater Hospital, University Hospital, for treatment. It is understood the Garda was cut during the incident. Cut, that means that a blade must have been used. So knife attack, knife assault, axe attack, I don't know. But to call it a public order incident, it was an assault on police with a weapon in the afternoon in the middle of Dublin. Sections of Old Abbey Street to Marlborough Street have been sealed by Gardaí near the back of Abbey Theatre. The area sealed off is close to O'Connell Street, Dublin's main thoroughfare, slap bang in the middle of Dublin on a nice Saturday afternoon. A guard was attacked and is now being treated in hospital, and a large area has now been sealed off. Slap bang in the middle when a lot of people would have been walking around. A man aged in his 30s was arrested by Gardaí at the scene. He is currently detained at a Garda station in Dublin city centre. No other details emerging about that one. Suffice to say, they believe he was the one responsible for the cutting incident. Again, we have a report coming out here. Irish Examiner, this was just published again around about 3:30 this afternoon. Man arrested as Garda suffers injury in Dublin incident. And there's a picture there of an empty Abbey Street in Dublin city centre. Of course, it's still sealed off. They're probably doing a forensics check on the place, taking statements. So people are going to be in Dublin wondering what the hell's going on. Gardaí have arrested a man following a public order incident in Dublin, which resulted in an injury to a Garda. The incident took place. Look at just these two reports. Okay, I think I've seen the word assault mentioned once, and the word incident must have appeared at least half a dozen times. At least half a dozen times. Why are they playing this down? Why are they playing this down? Especially when this is an assault on a guard. Okay? And this is set against the backdrop of knife crime in Dublin, Jim O'Callaghan admitting that certain parts of Dublin were not safe at certain parts of the day. And I'm sure he was referring to nighttime and dark, dingy alleyways in the underbelly of Dublin. This has happened on a Saturday afternoon in the city centre and someone is being hospitalised after being cut. Again, against the backdrop of Garda monitoring St. Patrick's Day Islamist terror threats, this is a report published earlier this week by Grip Media. They're monitoring potential threats to St. Patrick's Day events. Well, why wait until St. Patrick's Day? There was a threat this afternoon. Someone was cut, hospitalised. Could have been more. Thankfully, the perpetrator was arrested straight away instead of the usual shenanigans and skullduggery where they make their way to Belfast and get on a ferry, or they're hiding out in Balbriggan somewhere before they get pinched. Potential threats to St. Paddy's Day events in Ireland, inciting attacks on behalf of ISIS online. Don't worry about ISIS. Wait until St. Patrick's Day. This is happening on a weekly basis on the streets of Dublin as we speak. In a statement sent to Grip last week, Garda said they are aware of online posting incident inciting attacks on behalf of Islamic State. The posting referred to a number of high-profile events and occasions throughout Europe, including St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. And no specific event is highlighted, and then they go on to say contemporary incidents, even there, incidents, attacks, attempted mass slaughter in some cases, driving cars into groups of people, killing multiple people. These aren't incidents. These incidents throughout Europe demonstrate that religiously motivated violent extremism attacks can be both indiscriminate and unpredictable. Well, so can walking through Dublin city centre on a Saturday afternoon minding your own business. That can be also very life-threatening. O'Callaghan has also previously acknowledged his awareness of these reports, adding, and Garda Síochána, working with their international partners, remain vigilant. Well, I hate to say it, but they weren't vigilant this afternoon. Or maybe they were. Maybe the guard who was injured, and I hope and believe that he's okay and he's not going to, he can be discharged, and it isn't a life-threatening injury. No harm to him. But where was the vigilance today in Dublin? Remain vigilant regarding potential security threats the authorities here are taking, will continue to take. Well, no, they're not. Because when Dublin City Council were asked to address this issue of the crime crisis, they laughed. They voted it down, and they told two independent councillors to close the door behind them on the way out, made fools of them, made a mockery of them. And then a few days later, of course, the Nigerian that was deported for rape charges was stabbed to death on St. Valentine's night. Shortly after, they scoffed at the thought that there was a crime crisis in Dublin. O'Callaghan said, I can confirm I'm aware of the reports. He's aware of reported Islamist terror threats against St. Patrick's Day events in Ireland. You know, don't focus on the big stuff, but be vigilant. Have your security, yes. But while they're focusing on St. Patrick's Day attacks, these other attacks are happening all over the place, weekly, all over Ireland, north, south, east, west, and even in the middle. So that's where we are today. Another attack, Dublin city centre, Saturday afternoon, busy thoroughfare, near O'Connell Street, Garda Hospital, cutting incident on his arm. Incident, even I'm saying it, they're programming us. The programming is to start thinking this way. It's not going to work. We need to resist. We need to resist this programming. We need to resist the propaganda that everything's all right. It's not. So let's stop calling a spade a big spoon and call it what it is, a spade. If you like this content, please share it, especially this story. I'm Rick Munn, No Risk, No Reward Media. Subscribe to the channel, join the channel, and keep your eyes peeled for more updates on this, probably over the course of today, probably tomorrow. But for now, that's me, over and out.